we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means, on infiltration instead of invasion, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. There is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it.
Oh yeah, welcome to episode 83 of the Abuse Hour. It is I, your host, Coffee Long, rolling large and in charge. Yeah, unsupervised, unmedicated, and an unchecked threat to society. Where are we going today? Of course, we're going to the airport. Yeah, gonna get out there, spread the good word, gonna make motherfuckers hard and do the thing. All right, dude, I'll tell you, man, I missed the 80s, dude. I was talking to somebody, I don't know what, a couple days ago, and you know, as with most people younger than me, but I was like, yeah, man, I missed the 80s, and it was cool because, you know, like you watch American Psycho, and I think what was so cool is that, like, everything is on the up and up, man. Like, you're walking on sunshine. Like, even if things kind of suck now, like, you can make your way. You know, go get a little shitty part-time job. Get a little money coming in, a little change in your pocket, and you're going to get by just fine. But, you know, plus pro wrestling, that was the shit. But that, it reminded me, dude, shit, what am I doing here? I just saw this clip of fucking Hulk Hogan at the Republican National Convention. Man, what a bummer. That poor old man. He's like 75 years old, this guy, and he's out there trying to tear a shirt. I mean, he's still big, terrific, you know, he's still got his hair dyed, but I mean, I'll tell you, dude, I almost feel like, and it just occurs to me that the Hulk Hogan situation it's like a perfect example of America, like old, broken down, has been beaten down, kind of fucked over. Because I don't know if you remember, that guy got it right in the ass a few years back because his daughter was mud sharking, and he said quite plainly and quite simply that he didn't want my N-word anywhere near his tall blonde daughter, and that's not unreasonable by any stretch. You know, who wants a single mother for a daughter, right? That's not reasonable. Who wants a murder victim for a daughter? Not reasonable. So he says it quite candidly, right? And she does her own father the service of recording him and then making it public. Like, doesn't even just use it to, like, look, you're going to be cool, or here's what I could do. You're going to be cool with me and Tyrone and me ruining my life and handing you a baby that looks like Cheerios commercial, or else this goes public. No, didn't even do that. Just put it right out there and just flatten this guy. And this guy got stomped on from every direction. This poor son of a bitch got taken to the cleaners. I guess he had to try to go back into pro wrestling, back into show business. I don't remember the whole fucking story, but I mean, what a perfect example. Now we're going to wheel you out here. Hey, get your ass out here, white man. Start waving your hands around. And let's hear some thumbs up. Let's hear some of that fake pep. Some of that good fake 80s pep. Tear your clothes, dude. Go on, tear them. Do it. Do the thing. Do the dance. Do the dance, monkey. Let's go. So he got out there and did that thing, man, and it was just depressing. But that, along with the Indian woman, and I talked to some normie the other day, and this guy tried to pitch me on the Indian woman at the RNC doing whatever little prayer, chant, incantation, spirit dance fucking thing she was doing out there. And this guy tried to sell me on, like, well, no, see, she's the one who's like, she's like actually really conservative. I'm like, cool, man, she can go be conservative back in New Delhi. I do not require. That's where we're at, dude. And then I guess it was a whole long who's who in the zoo of soul brother like no other, giving they 2 cents on my Trump and this thing and that thing. But it was just soul brother after soul brother, and then they had some, and I don't remember who it was some OnlyFans performer or some porn star or some such mattress actress was out there giving her 2 cents, and she's got a tattoo across her forehead. I didn't even see what it said. I didn't watch the actual thing. I just saw the memes go by. All right, and I mean, you can't make this up. Tattooed forehead mattress actress is out here giving her 2 cents, and you know, people like me, they's usually pushed to the side. Yes, usually prostitutes are held at the outskirts of town, and for good reason. All right, but this is what we're dealing with. But the monster downer to me with this all was that, like, after this Dick Dance assassination thing, and man, I'll come to that, you know, partly just for, you know, for entertainment purposes, but then partly, you know, for more of a take. You know, after that botched up assassination attempt, the Republicans could really do at that point whatever they want. You can do and say whatever you want. You can do no wrong. There's not really a way you can lose this thing at this point. I mean, you would have to have an assassination at this point to lose this thing. They're already talking now. Joe Biden's going to go away. Kamala Harris is going to step in. So there's not really a way you can lose this thing. You can do whatever you want to do. And when you can do whatever you want to do, what do? You make a point of coming right out here and saying, hey, yeah, big thumbs up. Things sure are cool, right? Hey, just a reminder. Hey, white people, don't start getting it in your head that, like, somehow you're going to be represented at all, you know. Like, we could represent you at all. You know, you are the majority here, the founding stock of the country. We could represent you, but, we're not going to. We're not going to. No, everybody do a little prayer, hokey dance, and we're going to do Indian thing and Soul Brother like no other. And let's not forget the porn star, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out, porn action. You know, and then we're going to get Hulk Hogan out here, humiliate him a little bit. Hey, remember this guy? Yeah, we beat up on him a little while back. We're going to have him come out here and dance for you, do a little of the old soft shoe. So let's just keep it fresh. So, man, very black pilling and all. But, you know, nothing you didn't know anyway. You know, all bad. But, dude, what this, well, first, the things I just seen in the last day or two. Joe Biden, I guess, looking at pulling out, fucking finally. You know, I wish his dad had pulled out. That would have been the real bonus. But here we all are also. No, he's talking about pulling out, and I guess it's the donor factor where these Hebrews are saying, like, hey, we're just not going to give you money if you're going to stay in there because you don't really have a fighting chance. Like, the guy can't cross a crowded room. This is, and you know what? It is obvious, and it's been obvious. And the huge comedy to me is that so many of these liberals, these people are coming out and saying, well, why didn't you gaslit us? This, I mean, I'm not a fan of that word, but this seems to be like a very liberal word for, like, not being explicitly told something that is painfully fucking obvious. Because actually, dude, I had somebody floating this term to me, and I had to actually say, like, I don't know what you're saying, man. When you're gaslighting me, I don't know what you're saying. So I actually had to have somebody explain this term to me, and apparently it's from some movie where this guy, and I didn't even watch the movie, I just saw a part of it. I was like, all right, this is stupid. But the idea of this movie is, like, there's some guy and he's got this wife that he wants to drive her insane for whatever reason. You know, return the favor, you know. And the way this goes down, I guess, is he does something with one of the lights or something, and then he'll just insist that, like, well, no, it was always like that. She's like, am I going crazy? You know, like when somebody moves something that you put someplace, like you put something somewhere and you're like, dude, where the hell did I put my keys or my beer or whatever? And they're like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I saw you put it in the refrigerator. It's over there. Like, your keys are in the refrigerator. You're like, what? Yeah, you put them in there. And you're like, what the fuck? So this is what this movie is about, where this guy just jerks this woman's chain just nonstop and I guess drives her nuts. And I don't know if there's some clever twist at the end, because I don't care that much. And I'm not watching a black and white movie just so I can understand a term that women love throwing around. But their big complaint here is that, like, oh, you gaslighted us. Gaslit? Can I say this? I don't know. Either way. you gaslighted us because, like, you didn't even tell us that, like, he's gone crazy. Like, he has dementia. Fucker, you didn't know this? Did you not see this? Like, I mean, a blind man's dog could see this. Like, this guy's not well. This guy can't cross a crowded room on his own. And your excuse is nobody told me explicitly. You know, because basically you're a child in a grown-up body and this is what you need. So we'll get to that in due course. But some things that had come out, you know, vis-a-vis this, and I wanted to hit this assassination attempt thing because, you know, not just to go down a rabbit hole so much, but it sort of paints a picture in either direction of what exactly are we looking at here. So kind of the two camps at this point, I think, is that one, the door got left open deliberately, that like we're going to keep spinning people up and we're just going to kind of create the opportunities and eventually somebody's going to take it, right? And the other camp is that they planned and orchestrated and executed this thing and it just got fucked up. It was all that it was. So looking at the, like, when I talked about this, like, right after it happened, like, I mean, I wanted to throw 2 cents in on it immediately because of, you know, just to say that, like, this was not like some random thing, like some high-speed motherfucker got in there. Like, this was a total fuck story, and a lot of things were super fucked up. And as happens, you've seen, like, the Three Stooges, these 3 women outside the vehicle, and just, I mean, fumble fuck orama, dude. It was top shelf. I don't know. I can't presume to guess, like, how in the wide world of fuck did these 3 balloon heads get put on this detail. But I do guess when Trump showed up at the RNC, he had, like, a stack of tall, serious-looking men around him, and that's well and good, you know, for whatever that's fucking worth. But, yeah, this situation, as the details started to come out, I started to have some pretty serious questions, and I don't know, you know, I don't know if your average person would look at it and really think through it this much, because just kind of by coincidence, I also happened to see, and I'm kind of leading into this, I happened to see that documentary about the Fire Festival, F-Y-R-E Festival. And I don't know if you heard of this, if you haven't heard of this. This was a deal in 2017. And the deal was this guy, Billy McFarland, who's, whatever, we'll get to him. This guy, you know, allegedly, like, comes out with this idea where he's going to have this badass, you know, music festival on an island in the Caribbean, and it's gonna be like, you know, as opposed to other deals, you know, where it's like some kind of ghetto pigeon porta potty bottled water fucking deal. This is gonna be this high-end deal where there's gonna be, like, you know, it's gonna be all top tier stuff, top tier performers, outstanding venue, delicious snacks, everything's gonna be super shit hot. It's gonna be expensive, like, you're gonna have to pay for it, but everything is going to be high end, which on the surface is pretty kick-ass, right? I mean, I ain't going to this shit, but I mean, the idea, you know, of like, hey, here's something you could go do. It's going to cost a lot more, but it's not going to suck, right? You're not going to come home with, like, AIDS just because of who you were standing next to. So this guy starts putting this thing together. I watched this whole documentary, and, like, the first order of business with these clowns is to, like, start securing investors. They start getting this money rolling in. Like, yeah, this is a great idea. We got a place to do it. We're going to do this at an island that was owned by Pablo Escobar, but they're trying to do something with it. So we're going to do something with it, and it's going to be the shit. So people start dumping money into this thing. People are buying fucking tickets. This guy's going out there. He's with him and Ja Rule, dog. You know, we going to go out here, dog. So they go out here and they've got this marketing company, like, pumping, like, putting together, like, these really good looking ads, which, in fairness, 2017 good looking by standards from years back. Like, the stuff that's getting put together now, like, I don't know if you've seen this, and hey, and if you're not an anime fan, because I ain't an anime fan, but nonetheless, I respect some solid looking art. These guys with the Shao accounts, like, guys are putting together some really impressive looking stuff. Like, damn, dude, this is good product. It ain't that good, but they do have like hot ass and a bunch of these high dollar models, which again, like, great, you've got high dollar models. You flew them all the way out to this beach to run around and skip around and smile at each other and do the shit that models do. You know, there are actually a lot of hot girls out there. You could actually probably get any number of just hot girls that would come out here for nickels and dimes. I mean, they'll dance naked for the price of a cheeseburger, right? But you could actually just fly these broads out to whatever, you know, Carlos de Jackal Island you've got going here, and do it that way and save a bunch of money. But no, again, Ja Rule, dog. This guy and this shyster Billy McFarland dude, they fly all these high dollar models, like legit professional pains in the ass, out to this island, out to this specific island, to get them to hop and skip and get on their knees as the waves roll in and this kind of shit. And I don't even dare to guess what that cost. But they're, you know, they've got somebody doing like a little documentary, like this same marketing company, again, filming around the clock as they're out here fucking around on this island. And dude, as somebody that has been around people that do the filming and the marketing and the, you know, the behind the scenes, like video type shit, the videography type shit, that shit ain't cheap, dude. And again, like, this is some shit that you want as like a cool, also have, like, man, this would really give it a little boost. Well, that's well and good for you, and maybe you're having a great fucking time, but like, for these people, this is their fucking job. And even if it's, you know, if it's to you a weird fucking job, and it is, but this is still their job, and this is what they decided to do, like, professionally, and they don't do that shit for cheap, man. And the same thing with these fucking models, dude. Like, I've also been unfortunate enough to be in proximity to some models, not these high dollar broads, or maybe they were, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know the difference. Like, how is one pain in the ass different than another pain in the ass? I don't know. This one costs more, all right? Whatever. But these broads are like, they don't just wake up hot, man. Like, they're high maintenance fucking things. They're like that Shelby Cobra that's at the show. That's like, that guy didn't drive that fucking thing here. Like, he carted it in here and, you know, rolled it very carefully off of a truck and then wiped it down with a diaper and doesn't touch it with his bare hands and this kind of shit. So, like, these model broads, the ones that I met, I was unfortunately enough in New York, and we're at this event, and there's like, it's like this open bar food, you know, everything's free, and it's free because it sucks, but it's all this, you know, kind of free buffet type shit. And I'm standing next to these two broads, and they're looking at this menu, and they're both super pissy. I mean, they're hot, but they're pissy. And then you kind of find out, like, for good reason, because this broad is looking at this menu, and she's like, I can't eat a single thing on this. This is bullshit. I'm like, I hadn't really thought of it like that, because I kind of just eat whatever the fuck I want, and then, you know, I'll go lift later or run from the cops or whatever. But these broads, like, all they really do is walk and stand still and get pictures taken of them. So they're kind of in this constant starvation mode, and this broad's looking at this thing and like, I can't have a single thing here. I'm just gonna have one drink and go find something I can eat. So she orders like a vodka and water, and I'm like, God damn. I'm like, that would suck. I'm not interested in any of this. Nothing that's going on here interests me. So back to live action, this fire festival thing, they got all these expensive women out on this island. Nice. They got all these expensive women out on this island, and this Ja Rule and this Billy McFarland clown, they're like trying to get these broads drunk. They're like making it like party time. Like, they brought these chicks out here to go do this photo thing, and they got all these videographers and all these media marketing people, but to them it's like frat boy time. Hey, come on, y'all, let's play a game, y'all. You want to play like Truth or Dare or some shit? And these women are looking at them like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're like, no, I don't want to play your games. I don't want to do shots and jump in the ocean. I'm not interested. Like they haven't seen these tricks, right? You know, come on, dog, it's going to be fun. Come on, let's play, pull the bikini off. Ha ha ha, that crazy. Like, no one's buying this shit. Right, so you see these chicks looking at each other like, what the fuck amateur night bullshit is this? But so this thing goes on, and it's kind of showing like the prep work, bunny ears prep work for this magical fucking festival. And this is like a year and change out when they're doing the video and the media and the site visit and the whole thing and getting the ideas for this. But now as the media thing comes out, they market it as crazy fucking music festival, all this high-end shit on Pablo Escobar's island. And apparently the one criteria that the people who now own this island or whatever, the one criteria that they put out that they did not want moving forward to help develop the image of this island was they did not want anything associated with Pablo Escobar. So what's the first fucking thing these idiots do? Pablo Escobar's island, dog, is gonna be the shit, dog. Like, no. So immediately the people that own this place are like, no, fuck you, get out. And I'm sure that wasn't the only fucking thing. They probably saw the shit show that this was becoming, and they're like, you know what, no, fuck off, get out. So these people get launched out, and now it's like, oh, now we have to find another place, and now okay, I think we found a place that we could do this thing. So they find this other island, I can't remember the name of it, but it's this small fucking place. They're gonna try to figure out how they can wedge a shit ton of kids onto this island. They don't have anything logistical worked out. All the flights in are like these small charter planes. They don't have enough shitters. They don't have anywhere for anyone to sleep. They don't know where they're going to get food for any of this. And they're talking through like, well, this catering company and that catering company, but nobody takes into account like, well, what about customs? These people aren't going to let you just truck in 1,000 tons of something, especially like some third world Caribbean nation. They're not going to let you just truck in whatever the fuck you want. They're going to want a piece of the action. So now it's like, I want $700,000 in, import fees or duty or any of this shit. Like they're getting greased all up and down each side. So it's coming down to the wire, and now these fuckers are standing there like scratching their heads like, I can't believe, like, how are we supposed to get, food, and we have to get we have to work out accommodations and all this, and like we only have like this much till we have like a few weeks, bro, and like how did it go so wrong? And I'm like, dude, here's the problem. It didn't go so wrong right now at 2 weeks out. It went wrong a year and a half ago when you were fucking around on the beach getting shit-faced with Ja Rule, trying to talk a professional piece of ass out of her tiny little bikini, thinking that was actually going to fly, pissing away money on fucking marketing, flying around, fucking around, doing God knows what. That's when it went wrong, way back there, because all the nuts and bolts that had to be in place were not in place. And once it got to 2 weeks out, like you were fucked months ago. But now it's 2 weeks out, you're mega fucked. So all these kids now, as this thing goes on, all these kids that paid like $8,000 or some kind of shit for what they were pitched as some super high-end mega luxury music festival experience, they get out here and it is an absolute fucking gypsy camp, man. They're all standing around, and the people running this shit show, their solution is, I don't know, dude, just turn up the music and get some drinks going. And they're like, okay, so they get this shit going, and then they finally come out, and people are getting pissed. It's the middle of the fucking night, and people are like, where's my villa? Where's my fucking luxury accommodations? They're like, look, we had some technical issues, so like, if you don't have something in your name right now, just go over that way and grab a tent. And they got all these tents set up, and all they are is they're like fucking storm shelter little geodesic tents that were left over from some fucking hurricane that came through. So they have all these fucking tents set up. So people go hauling ass over there trying to grab a tent, and it turns into fucking Lord of the Flies, dude. And there's people hoarding shit, hoarding fucking mattresses, hoarding toilet paper, hoarding tents, all this shit. And as they get there, they find out that, like, yeah, surprise, dickhead, it actually rained the day before, so all those mattresses that got left sitting outside, those are all fucking soaked now. So where are you sleeping? I don't know. What are you supposed to eat? It's a fucking mystery. Where are you going to take a shit? Nobody knows. Nobody could say. But there was like a picture, like one guy posted a picture of this box lunch that he got handed, and it was legit like 2 pieces of bread and a slice of cheese. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this shit? But, you know, as it goes on to explain this whole thing, it becomes increasingly obvious that, like, the way this guy did this was like this Billy McFarland dude. And of course, you've got Ja Rule, dog. You know, that guy ain't in the weeds, you know, working out nuts and bolts. But the way this guy did this was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if? And focused on all the it would be cool if components of this thing with, like, hey, let's get some hot bitches. Hey, let's get fucked up on the beach. Hey, let's go find a cool island. Hey, let's call Blink-182 and ask them if we pay them $1 gazillion if they'll do a music festival. Yeah, of course they will. But then when people start to find out that, like, well, you don't have anything in place, you can't actually afford to pay us, you don't have any of the logistical shit ironed out here, this is a total fuck story. So as this all goes sideways, everything starts dropping off, none of the shit that's supposed to be there winds up there, and it becomes apparent that this guy is just, you know, one, a complete moron, but two, it becomes apparent that morons are willing to accept whatever another moron says if they're smiling and just hand you a fucking Hallmark buzzword like, nah, bro, we're not going to let that stand in our way. Nah, bro, we're going to persevere. Hey, man, we're going to make it work. Like, dude, nothing in real life works that way. That's some fake fuck retarded American bullshit, quite honestly, dude. This we'll figure it the fuck out as we go. No, dude. I mean, you can do a lot of things like that. You can bumblefuck down the road that way, but this is how people end up in homeless shelters. This is how people end up as single mothers scratching their head going, I don't know, I thought spinning rims would just work itself out, right? That's how this bad shit happens. So kind of circle jerking back to this this assassination thing, this really reminded me of that, because to pull off something like that, to do it successfully, and again, like in the strictest technical sense, it was a success. You scored a headshot on the primary target. You know, that's if that's your metric for success, you know, like in that sense, it did work, right? But if that's your desired outcome and you're going to be going up against a whole laundry list of measures designed to prevent you from doing that, and again, you can kind of compare this to like the fight game or learning any martial art. When somebody brand new walks in there, this is always the gag with any kind of style. Like that brand new person walks in there day one, hilarity ensues because this person has no fucking idea what they're doing. All right, so the difference between a guy that's kind of training and a guy that trains really fucking seriously, there is a noticeable difference, a considerable difference. But between that person that doesn't train at all and that person with no fucking idea what they're doing, the difference is fucking gargantuan. Because somebody that doesn't know what they're doing just kind of fucking stands there and you can just whip the shit out of them. And it's, you know, you can. It's considered bad form. But some people do. Like, don't wrist lock the white belts. It's not fucking funny. But people fucking do it, all right? Because this person has no idea what they're doing. As soon as they get some kind of an idea, you're not going to be able to pull that kind of shit anymore, all right? And that's what I'm getting at here, is that going up against not just a focused opposition, but against what should be world-class opposition in the Secret Service, you should not be able to just stroll in there and mission accomplished. Two, you should not be able to just stroll in there and accomplish your mission if you are not at that same level. Like, if you are not a serious shooter, you're not a serious operator, you should not, you know, bunny ears, should not, we're in the should business now, should not be able to just pull this off, you know, so easily. And yet that's where we are, where this guy did just kind of stroll in there and pull this off. And what's kind of getting floated is this vibe, like this Fire Festival vibe of like, yeah, man, he just really wanted it, you know, like, yeah, he just made it work, bro. Like, he just got in there and did what he had to do, bro, to you know, he's just crazy, bro. Fuck no, dude. That is some fucking Fire Festival logic. That is some Ja Rule logic. Because the more I think about this thing, you know, when you go to do some operator type shit, you know, different, how can you say, different communities will use different phrasing. But one of the best descriptions I've heard of is the mechanics portion. And I don't mean mechanics like the guy fixing your car. I mean like when you say, hey, here's what I'm going to do, and you've got to give this brief, you've got to write out how this thing is going to go. What are the mechanics of this caper? How is this going to fucking work? All right, because you cannot just walk out here if some high dollar operational community is going to commit time, money, and resources to this thing. You can't walk out here with just, bro, I'm going to make it happen, bro. That's a fucking no-go right there. That's a fucking non-starter. You're going to have to walk out here with something closer to like, all right, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. When the clock strikes 12, he steps out from this specific spot, and so on and so on. This shit of like, oh, we'll just fucking work it out. No, dude, nothing works like that. So looking at this assassination attempt, then, if I think of this thing as like, all right, dude, what are the fucking mechanics here? How does this thing fucking work? All right, when we take a serious look at this, this becomes wildly fucking implausible. I posted on the chat the picture of an overhead picture of the ladder that this dude used to climb up, and the spot that he got picked out to make his ascent to the unmanageable roof that the Secret Service director decided was just too risky to put people on. And dude, when I think through the mechanics concepts of this, like, how am I going to make this work? This is not some fucking day one, like, yeah, I just rolled up and got lucky type shit. This is entirely something fucking else. So for one, you got a hold of this ladder. Well, to kind of lay the backstory here. Well, let me say it this way. The official story is this guy went to Home Depot, and this fucking kills me. Went to Home Depot, got this giant fucking ladder, drove in his car out to this rally location, took the ladder and the rifle out to this building, found this really nice secluded spot. And if you haven't seen the picture of it, you can just Google the picture or you can see it in the chat. But it's this really nice secluded spot where there's like these two big warehouse buildings, these metal sided type big warehouse looking structures. And in between them, it's like there's these two big structures, and then like, I don't know, how would you say, like almost a walkway type thing in between, but it's like enclosed, so it's like, it looks like part of the building. And it's almost like one of those things, like a little cutout in a building where like you would put an air conditioning unit or something, right? So he finds a spot like this, but this place also has this big fucking bush right in front of it. So, I mean, if you were drawing a picture of like, what's an ideal spot to make your ascent, to sneak on top of a roof, like this is the most perfect spot like ever, and honestly, like 100% honest, like having done this work, this is the kind of shit where you're like, well, yeah, that's great in your fucking textbook. I see your textbook. I'm never going to find that in real life. Like this dude found it in real life, like an incredible fucking spot, like no shit. So he finds this spot. Now, apparently he had some kind of a transmitter, and they said he had IEDs in his car that he had left behind, and I don't know, they were saying as a distraction, but I'm like, as soon as something like that goes off, the target is going to get whisked away. So what was your fucking plan? I don't know, what, fucking blow up your own car and run through the woods? What the fuck is this? And further, I think if the guy was driving a pickup truck or some kind of shit, or some kind of terrorist van, they would have said that, like this redneck gun-loving pickup truck driver left his truck that picks up, out here a ways away, and this is, also these IEDs. So, no, they didn't say that. I don't know what kind of car the guy had, but if he had something like a truck or something, I'm sure they would have said it. So here's my questions, man, is that, and then the other part that I forgot was that also allegedly he stopped on the way and got ammo. All right, so he stopped. He's only going out here to take, honestly, allegedly, like, shouldn't be taking more than 2 or 3 shots. Because by then, if you miss, right, your target is going to evaporate and go away. Like, they're not going to let you just stand there all fucking day and plink, right? So you don't need that many rounds for your actual, operation here. So again, this is their story, you know. This is what they say this guy did. So here's my fucking questions. Is one, like, how did you, like, at what point did you go out here and scout this fucking place? Because this looks like it's a place where people are doing fucking business, they're doing fucking work. As soon as you found out that there's going to be a rally out here, I imagine they would have started having people looking around and checking the place out and what might be a problem and where do we got to watch out for. So you go out here, let's say you find this best possible spot to make your ascent. Why the fuck was that not fucking like cordoned off or blocked off or any kind of small preventative measure? You know, just put a fucking barricade back there. So like there, you can't get back here with a fucking ladder or whatever. Two, you go out here and you pick up a ladder. Now, here's where, like, this is like my Fire Festival thinking of, like, how do you fucking get out here, pick up this giant fucking ladder? 'Cause this wasn't no fucking step ladder. This was a big fucking ladder. How do you get this thing, get it into your fucking car, and then drive it out to this fucking place? Because this place was, like, I guess, like 40, 50 miles from his house. Did he scout out a Home Depot nearby or some shit? Because they said he had the receipt in his pocket. So he obviously didn't, you know, I thought like if you borrowed a van or a pickup, you went out here a couple days earlier, hid it in a bush or some shit. Still, I think it would have gotten found. Like, why is there a ladder in this fucking bush? How the fuck do you hide a ladder? You know, this ain't, again, not a fucking step ladder. This is a big goddamn ladder. How are you going to fucking conceal this thing? And then, but then so you pick this thing up and you got the receipt for the ladder in your pocket, they're saying. And now, I heard somebody else say, well, no, he parked a ways off and walked through the woods. Okay, so you carried this fucking ladder, this giant fuck-off ladder, and a rifle through the woods? Like, how fucking smoked were you by the time you got there? And nobody fucking heard that? Nobody saw a guy carrying a fucking ladder and a rifle through the fucking woods? That's fucking crazy talk. So now let's just say that the ladder miracled itself there. Let's forget that, like, maybe if you pulled right up right into the parking lot of this place 100 yards away and, like, yeah, I'm just going to get in here and do my thing. Nobody fucking stopped him. No, there's no fucking traffic control. No, nothing. Let's say then, okay, you get in here. Let's say that worked out. You got in there and now nobody sees you moving a giant fucking ladder from your car, presumably in the parking lot, to this building. Nobody sees that, and it's this fucking close. And allegedly a lot of people did see him, but I haven't seen anybody say that they saw him until he was already on the fucking roof. I've seen some things like unconfirmed shit by Secret Service that, like, oh yeah, we saw the guy for like half an hour. Okay, but nobody, like, no fucking cops, nobody said go fucking talk to this guy, see what this idiot's doing with a fucking ladder. Because remember, like, even if somebody's getting a ladder, like they find a ladder next to this warehouse, and like, I'm going to get on this roof and fucking watch from there, man. So I could see better, because I can't see from back here. Even if they're doing that, if some asshole falls off, like this is only 130 yards from the fucking stage. So if somebody falls off of here and fucks themselves up, now they're going to have to get an ambulance in here. Now it's going to be a big pain in the ass. So easiest, right, if we just prevent shit like that. This is like the SOP. Like, you got to treat these people like children. Hey, don't get up there. Get the fuck off of there. Get down. All right. So reasonably, you'd have people around doing that. And that's what everybody who's been talked to has said. That, like, yeah, you would have somebody back here watching for this shit. But so now the guy gets up here, and now here's my question that, like, okay, so you had to go and buy ammo that day. You know, I also heard somebody say that, like, oh, the ladder or the receipt in his pocket was for a different ladder. I'm like, okay, so what, he went and bought an unrelated ladder that day? He got out here and decided that ladder wouldn't work? What, did he go back for a whole other ladder? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? You know, but so let's just, like, even putting the ladder thing away. Like, let's suppose then that, like, the ladder magically appears, like it's, you know, a little Easter egg in a video game. Like, look, if you go back here and you open this door, there's actually a ladder in here, and you don't got to climb up the outside where the goblins get you or whatever the fuck. So he gets up on the roof, and now you've got ammo that you just went and got that fucking day. So my question immediately was like, you didn't have ammo? Like, if you didn't have ammo, like, what were you using to sight in with? Because if, let's say hypothetically you were ever going to go do some crazy shit like this, which you should not, but I mean, anybody that was going to, any serious operator, you're going to want to know that, yes, my weapon is fucking dialed in, man. I know exactly where I'm going to be. I know exactly where to hold. I'm fucking good to go. This thing is tight. But that means going to the range and fucking shooting. All right, that's not gonna fucking like just a wild ass guess type thing. That's not gonna fucking work. You're gonna have to get out here and spend time on the fucking range. So are you telling me that like this guy got dialed in this fucking tight that he could make that fucking shot after walking through the woods with a fucking ladder and humping all this shit and finding the right spot? And I mean, I'm going to guess he didn't walk all the way around the building a bunch of times with that ladder. He apparently knew where he was going, knew where that spot was, got in there, got up the fucking ladder, shimmied up that fucking roof. That's going to take some fucking gas out of you, man. You're going to be fucking huffing and puffing. Even just doing this shit, just to walk on out there casual. If you were doing some dicey shit like this, you're going to be fucking banging a little bit. You're going to be boom, 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 boom. Like, you're going to be fucking nervous. Right, so it's a goddamn miracle the guy could have gotten a shot off anyway. Because he ain't no fucking operator. He never done this shit before. But now it's like you're going to drive out here. You're going to fucking hump up this ladder. I don't know if the guy, did you have some fucking water? So you have some electrolytes. Get some of them electrolytes, some of that Brondo. Good thing I brought this booty sweat. But get up this fucking ladder, shimmy up there, and now you're going to fucking take this shot laying on this probably hot as fuck fucking roof, wearing a t-shirt. All right, I mean, come on, bro. Fucking come on. Right? And you just happen to stop in and manage to pick up bullets that morning. Yeah, I'll pick up bullets on the way there. No big deal, right? I mean, this story is shit, all right? So going back to kind of the two sides of this thing, the way people are talking is that on one side of this, people are saying, yeah, man, it's very carefully orchestrated and so on. The other side is it was just a confluence of fuck-ups, like just a perfect convergence, a perfect storm of stupidity where this guy who in any reasonable world would have never gotten in here managed to weasel dick his way in here with a ladder, and they had the bullets he needed at the store that day and nobody saw him, and he found the perfect spot, and so on and so on. It all just worked out this way. And on the other side is that this was a very carefully orchestrated thing. And, like I saw some of this interview with the director of Secret Service, and she's talking about, well, we made the call to not have somebody up there because the roof was sloped and it could be dangerous. Man, fuck you. And this broad, I can't remember her name, but like, her deal was that she worked at I don't remember, like some fucking food company as a security manager, and I think she was named specifically as like, yeah, we're trying to diversify, we're going to include more women, so we're going to bring in this dumb fuck. She's going to head the Secret Service. No experience in government, no experience in protecting high profile targets, no experience in this arena at all. So when people come to her and say like, hey, I need this shit, or what do you think about this shit that's coming up? No fucking idea. And if you're protecting fucking snack food executives, you're not going to sell me on the idea like, no, bro, it's actually just the same, man. Get the fuck out of here. No fucking way, apples and oranges. She's talking about like stood by her decision that like, no, I made the decision. She says she made the decision. I don't know if it was her. I don't, who the fuck knows, right? But the decision was made that we're not going to put somebody on this roof because of the slope. So that slope, I guess, was too dangerous, but the one that was the building that was right next to the speaking platform, that was, I guess, not too dangerous because he had two counter sniper guys right up there. No big deal. And two was the idea like, well, if it's safe enough for a shooter to climb up there, for a potential attacker to climb up there, then why the fuck is it not safe enough for you? Put them up there with a fucking umbrella, get a shade structure up there, build a fucking platform that will make it level. It'll take an afternoon. All right, get this shit worked out. But that shit didn't happen. Second, then the idea was that, well, we did secure the building, but we secured it from the inside. Okay, well, so no, then basically you didn't secure it because It's a big fucking building, and if you look at the side of it where they are showing you that ladder, where you can see the cutout. I can't see the other side of it. I don't know if there's windows in it. But what I know you can't see is you can't see the fucking roof. Okay, so if there's a window in there that faces the speaking platform, okay, great. You secured that. You should have. Abso-fucking-lutely. You should have that building locked down. But to say that the building is secure, well, that is not accurate, is it? Because obviously someone can approach, someone can get onto it, someone probably could have walked right through the front door and started gunning these fucking either Secret Service or local police, SWAT, whoever the fuck they had in there. The building's not fucking secure, stupid. That's not what fucking secure means. And I'll say it this way, as an operator, when you say, I have this secure, that means you have eyes fucking on it. All right, so our deal was like, if you're looking down a hallway, you keep your fucking eyes down that hallway. That's your hallway. You don't take your eyes off of it. If somebody says, hey, did somebody come by here, or do you know where so-and-so went, or what fucking floor are we on, or are they going to the next deck, or what the fuck ever, and you turn your head and like, oh yeah, I think you just fucked up, all right? Because in that 1 second you turned your head, somebody could have like run across that hallway or hung around the corner and started dumping rounds. You're not securing the hallway. And yeah, you could say like, bro, it's like 2 seconds, bro. But 2 seconds turns into 2 minutes real fucking easy. Where you're just standing there coking and joking like, yeah, bro, and you're not fucking eyes on. You got to have your fucking eyes and head down that fucking hallway. All right, that's how you know it's secure. Otherwise, it is not fucking secure. Not in any way, shape, or form. So this roof, could somebody come up here with a ladder from this blind side of the building where there's no fucking windows, climb onto this fucking thing and start plinking? Yes. So is it secure? No. All right, this is your fucking story, man. I'm not making you say this shit, all right? So to say this is fucking secure is fucking bullshit. The conspiracy side of the house at this point, though, is saying that, like, they talked this motherfucker up here, I don't know, MK Ultra the guy or whatever, which that shit, to the degree that it's possible or not possible, seen some shit on it. I don't know. I mean, that's worth more research. But get a guy up there, get a fucking moron up there, take the shot from somewhere else, nearby, whatever, take that fucking shot, whack that fucking target, and then boom, have your counter sniper eliminate the guy that you've got put up there is like the fucking bunny ears. Here's the bunny ears attacker. Yay, we got him, but oh, the target's dead now. Oh, the presidential candidate got hit. Oh, that sucks. But the target, the fucking shooter is down. But we'll never hear that guy's side of the fucking story. And, did he take a shot? Did he not take a shot? I mean, fuck, dude, you got Lee Harvey Oswald for that. Because when you think about it, this really is like the exact same situation. Like, that motherfucker didn't make no headshot on a moving target on, shot number fucking 3 or whatever. 2 or 3. I don't give a fuck. That didn't fucking happen. All right, so you put a dummy up there, boom, hit the fucking target, whack, hit the fucking decoy, and now the story ends. Easy. Right? I mean, is that implausible? Did that not happen? I ain't saying it did. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Is it as possible as having 3 Humpty Dumpty looking broads for some reason guarding somebody that's like 6 foot fucking whatever, 6'20", killing for fun, moving in slow fucking motion? Like, is it any more implausible than that? You got some other woman saying they secured the building from the inside that's like 130 yards away. Is it more implausible than that? Like, not really. I mean, at this point, anything's fucking plausible. I saw this thing where they're talking about there's some unusual trade activity, not unlike the United Airlines and American Airlines deal before 9/11, where there was a lot of shorts put out where people are essentially betting that the stock is going to dump in the week before this, fucked up assassination attempt. I don't know, I've seen that, and I don't know if is it actually unusually more or less? If it is, that warrants looking into. But I mean, again, is it going to get looked into? Because the American Airlines and United Airlines ones from before 9/11, if you don't know what that's about, there was some massive fucking shorts put out there for United and American right before 9/11. Like, I saw a chart for it, and it was like kablam, like somebody bet fucking huge that United and American was going to dump. somebody or many somebodies or Hava, Nagila, whatever, some somebodies put a lot of fucking money out there. Oh, why don't we follow up on that? Oh, well, you can't. It's hard it's difficult. You understand the paperwork. We may never know. We'll never know the true, the culprits. But it does generate suspicion. So, lastly, I guess to wrap it up on this is the idea that people say, well, it don't really matter, dude. It was a fucking conspiracy by the CIA, NSA, FBI. Who did it? Hell, who didn't do it at this point? Fucking a whole bunch of motherfuckers, right? Or was it just some fucking screwball who got really, really fucking lucky to get into a spot like that? The idea that it don't matter. It just doesn't matter. It didn't happen and we're marching ahead. I will say that to some degree it does matter. It does matter because it kind of tells you who's who in the fucking zoo. Like, we can tell pretty clearly that Secret Service, director of the Secret Service, which by extension means whoever put that bitch in charge, doesn't really mind if this guy gets fucking smoked. Because look at the way they handled business there, dude. I mean, every aspect of that was a complete fuck story. So we can say that they are very much, at the very least, leaving the door open, have left the door open for that dude to get fucking whacked. What does that mean, though? Who rolls in and takes charge if it goes that way? That, to me, it is still the $64 question, because who fucking really gets something out of this? And I guess the only real way to look at it is if you look at the JFK thing. And that JFK thing was it like, look, this guy goes away. What the fuck actually happens? It took a little while to come out where, like, yeah, this guy was going to cut funding to CIA. He was talking about breaking it into several departments, saying that it had become too powerful. And that was an initial concern. But down the road, what had happened was that because the U.S. got involved in Vietnam, which JFK was not interested in, because the U.S. ended up getting involved in Vietnam, what that meant that the U.S. had to pull military resources from other parts of the world, including the Middle East, which jeopardized Israel's security, which means now you have to just fund them to provide for their own security. So if you look back at the funding, this was when, like the billions and billions and billions that we dump to Israel every year, this is when it really, really picked up, was with LBJ. So it could be a situation like that where, like, yeah, there's a reason you just, from where you are, you can't see it. There's leverage out there. But I mean, what we can say for sure, though, is that there is leverage being attempted. Somebody does have something to gain, because you can't, I cannot believe that this was just an honest lapse in security, an honest case of stupidity, and that this kid just magically, mystically, like fumble fucked his way through a network of security like this and got into a position to take a shot like that and didn't fuck it up worse. Because there's no fucking way that, you're going to hump a ladder through the woods, get up that ladder, be on that hot fucking roof, and then not completely blow that shot out your ass. Plus, you're on a semi-auto rifle, dude. Again, you get a fucking bolt action. It's only 130 yards. I can dig that. It's really close, but it's also a headshot, dude. So it's not a hard shot, but it's also not, especially under those conditions, not an easy shot. So I have a real fucking hard time with this story. So what I think we can say is that there's a lot of fucking, a lot of balls in the air. And what that means for us is that when these idiots start throwing things at each other, a lot of shit gets broken. And when shit gets broken, who ends up picking up the tab? That means you. So I would say, like, whichever case this is, it doesn't bode well. What it does suggest is that more hard times are on the way. So start planning the fuck ahead. But to wrap this thing up, man, I wanted to, I wanted to revisit the some of the woman question issues that were coming up in the in chat. And I think generally, well, let me say it this way, dude. I saw a graph, and it was talking about the idea that most men will say that they have difficulty meeting women, but most men will also say that they have never actively walked up and talked to a woman for the purpose of generating romantic interest. Gents, I will say that right there is fucking bullshit. Part of my way into our thing was through the pickup artist scene. And like, yeah, it's kind of faggy and it's fucking dorky, and you do largely reduce yourself to a performing monkey, but it does give you a really clear insight into how women's heads work and what piques their interest, and and why, quite honestly, like, the harder you try, the less it works out. And that's really, I mean, you can take that to the bank. Like, the more you put into this, the shittier it's going to go. And I've seen this 1,000 fucking times. I've seen it with other dudes. I've seen it with myself. Like, there was times, like, back in the day when I was out, doing my thing, and, like, I could be absolutely shithouse drunk, wearing clothes I've had on for, like, the last 2 days, and I will have some smoking woman sitting on my lap that, like, I don't know who you are or how you got here. I don't remember what I said. Was it cool? Was it not cool? Who gives a shit? Let's hang out. And then other times when you're like, you see some girl that you're like, oh, I want to talk to her, and you try to, like, time it just right and say something clever, and and like, I'm looking my best and I'm being cool, and let me stand like this, and she's gonna see that shit and, like, fuck you, dude. And the long and short here is, there's a couple of pretty decent books on some of this. I think it's called The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi. Those are some pretty good books, and it deals with a lot of the basic psychology and the biological differences between men and women. And that shit really does come into play, man, because if you look at this, like, a woman really has about 10 solid years, maybe at best, right? Like 10 solid years of, like, this is you at prime time. Like, you can make this sale. You're going to get the best possible man. Like, this is as good as it gets for you. You're at peak market value. After that, like, you haven't got shit. Like, your options decline fucking fast. So you will see, and dude, as I got older, like, I talked to a lot of women that said this shit, especially after I got divorced and I was just out and about and you meet people. And I met a lot of women that were like mid-30s that were like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, how can I not meet a man? I have a good job. I have my own place. I have a retirement plan and a 401k and my own condo or whatever. And I'm like, because nobody gives a shit about that stuff. A man can get that shit without you. A man probably already has that shit. And in fact, would you even be interested in a man who didn't have that shit? At your age, at mid-30s, you meet a guy that's like, yeah, I don't have shit, man. I just cruised around the world, hanging out, seeing sights, drinking beers. I never took time to invest or really, put down roots. Would you spend any time on that fucking guy? No, you wouldn't. Any man that's bunny ears to a woman worth of shit is going to have that kind of thing to offer already, but you wasted your time getting it for yourself. So what the fuck for? And that's their complaint, is like, I can't meet anybody. I have all this stuff. What the fuck? I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, great. You're cool. You are cool. But you're not fucking hot. All right? And a guy that does have those things, especially as the world keeps going to shit, like, you got a house, you got a car, you got steady income, you've got plans, man. You can go out there and start taking your pick of, like, even if you're mid-30s, late 30s, and you can be like, you 20-something girl, prime time, good shape. I don't give a fuck what your credit score is. Come on over here. I'm interested. All right? You have these options now. But so, like, the difference there is that, like, a woman, you only got 10 solid years to make the best possible sale you can, to hook up with the best possible man you can get your hands on. So they got to work fucking quick. So in an evolutionary sense, their bullshit detector is running overtime. And if you come in here with some weak shit, it's going to be like, man, fuck off. Hey, how you doing? What kind of movies do you like? Fuck off, dude. No time for that shit. All right? I had seen somebody brought it up in the chat that, like, a man on a mission, like a man with a passion. That is good shit, dude. Like, there are groupies for everything. right? Like, fucking anything, dude. Chess, fucking radio controlled cars. There's going to be a woman that's like, that's my guy right there. He's the shit at this. I will 100% agree with that. I'll even go one further and say that a man that is unshakable. All right, you got to be unshakable. And you've heard this term before, shit test, where a woman will try to kind of jerk your chain a little bit and see if you'll fucking crack. That's not just to fuck with you. That's to see if she's wasting her time, to see if you're bullshit, to see if you're going to be like, hey, you watch your fucking self. All right, or if you're just going to be like, I don't give a fuck. And if you're like, you know, like even I've had this shit happen, man, where like you'd be talking to a woman or you're going to go out and she's like, well, I was going to go out with some friends. They've got like, they know this guy that owns this boat and it's like super cool. It's like ultra premium and like we like to go out. And he was like handing me this bottle of like champagne or whatever. And if you're like, oh God, well, what the, if you get all pissy and whiny, they're doing this to just fuck with you. If you're like, oh God, you're hurting your ass, they're going to look to shine you on. And if you're just like, man, I don't give a shit. If that's what you want, go do that shit. I'll have you replaced in an hour. Then they're going to go, okay, well, wait. All right, because maybe they are into like Mr. Boat over here, but they also have to weigh the options of like, is Mr. Yacht Guy with champagne going to just bang me and throw me back on the fucking pier? Or would I have a chance to marry up to Mr. fucking Yacht Guy? And a lot of women will tell you they think that, but deep down, you know, they're going to know that, like, I don't know, maybe I got to start looking, you know, within my buying range, you know, within my price range. What do I really bring to the table here? But again, you got to be fucking unshakable. And I'll tell you what makes it fucking easy, and I'm coming to like the, I don't know, kind of, I want to say a golden rule, like the be unshakable thing, this is a fucking golden rule, but it's hard to just tell yourself, I won't be shaken. All right, because it's easy to get shook, dude. But what makes it fucking easy is realizing, man, that women are like buses. And I don't mean that as like an insult, but they are like buses. And if you miss one, just sit the fuck down and relax. There'll be another along in 20 minutes or so. All right, so you just take it fucking easy. And even if you fucking blow it out your ass, you're talking to some woman and you shit your pants. And like, all right, who fucking cares? Go get new pants, get back out there. Which brings me to the golden rule, and this was something that I saw early on, and it made it so fucking easy. It was like that initial fucking difficulty. It made it like, oh fuck, man, oh fuck. Like it took all that shit away, and that is the top 3 things of meeting women is approach, approach, approach. Always be rolling up. Always be opening. Always be talking. Always fucking, hey, how you doing? Hey, I like your shoes. I like your hat. Did you see that fucking bird that just flew into the window? Holy shit. Always something, man. All right? Always fucking, always opening, dude. Because if you fuck it up, like you got it in your head, like, what, did you just ruin it for the entire fucking room? No, dude, you're fine. All right? That woman across the room, she doesn't know what you guys are talking about. You could have just blown it out your ass. And you're just like, yeah, all right, well, I'm going to take off. I'll see you later. And you just walk off. She doesn't know that you just blew that discussion out your ass. Walk up to some other woman now. And now that one, you know, and I'll tell you what else is like, you're in a room with, you know, a bunch of women floating around, you know, a bar or party or some kind of shit. And some woman over there sees you talking to all these women. She's going to start thinking that either one, you're pretty cool, you know all these people. And if you don't look like a fucking goon, right? And I mean, not the way you're dressed. I mean, like, you don't get, like, slapped or, like, somebody tells you, like, she calls the bouncer to grip your ass and get you out of her face or some crazy shit. But sees you talking, she's going to either think that, 1, you know a lot of people, or 2, you're just hitting on a lot of people. But that also means that she's going to expect you to come hit on her. So if you don't, she's going to start thinking there's something wrong with her. And this was, I swear to God, I've fucking seen this. I have done this. Where if you see like some good looking woman and she'll have like the fat friend or 2 fat friends, even better. You roll up and you open on 1 or 2 of these fat friends and start talking. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what is that drink, man? I saw it. It's like some pink thing. It looks like grapefruit, but I can't tell. You just start talking. What? It doesn't fucking matter about what. Because a woman's immediate instinct is like, oh, he's hitting on me. Yeah, great. I'm fucking hitting on you. Big fucking deal. You talk to them. You talk to this fat girl. I talk to that fat girl. They're like, all right, well, I'm supposed to meet some people. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, you take it easy. And then you walk off. That hot girl is going to be so fucking pissed. I actually had this girl in San Antonio, dude, this was actually like, I mean, this was years ago, but I did this exact thing on purpose. And this fucking broad chased me down and was like, hey, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? She was pissed. And well, to tell you how long ago this was, like, she actually wrote her number down on a bar napkin and put it in my hand and was like, here, this is what I know you want. I'm like, oh, thanks. Maybe I'll call you. And I didn't call, but who gives a fuck? But it's a good time. I shit you not. I shit you not. Do this shit. So approach. Second, well, I mean, I guess third, because you want to be unshakable, be fucking unshakable. Approach. And 3, make it fun. Make it fucking fun. For you, sure, but make it fun for the people you're talking to. Like, because you can have fun at somebody's expense all the time. Like, I'm just fucking around, I'm breaking balls, you know, I'm telling her she needs to lose some weight. It's hilarious. But if you make it fun for her as well, then that's just fucking, you know, make them laugh. They'll be a fucking clown, but just make the thing fucking fun, dude. This shouldn't be like a court date or some kind of shit, right? Like, this shouldn't be a pain in the ass. This shouldn't be doing your income taxes. Make it fucking fun. And quite honestly, you know, like how we're saying that a woman often is like a child in a grown-up's body. Do something that would be fun for the child. All right? You ever do that little fortune teller thing? The thing where you fold the paper up and like pick a color, pick a number, and blip, 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 blip. I've done that. I told a dude, we were in a restaurant again years ago, and he was asking me about this shit because like me and another couple dudes were doing it. It was fucking hilarious. And this one dude had asked me, like, what the fuck are you doing that has these women all fucking goofy and shit? And I was like, dude, it's fucking stupid. It's like dealing with a child. Watch. And I asked this waitress, I'm like, hey, give me a menu, like we're like at a fucking Applebee's or some kind of shit, like years ago, you know, like military, always eating an Applebee's. I'm like, hey, bring me one of them paper menu things. So I like tore it into a square, like a big square, and made one of those pick a number, pick a color things. I'm like, I'm gonna make something that's gonna blow your mind. And she lost her fucking mind. She's like, oh my God, I love these. And I'm like, so there you go. Instant open. Now you're having a conversation. All right. But it's just progress like that. Open. And you'll be shocked and amazed. Go and blow one out your ass. Just like say something fucking stupid. I love your socks. But now you're having a conversation. And if she tells you to fuck off, it don't matter. There, now you're meeting women. All right. As far as dealing with them, dude, never forget the idea, never lose sight of the fact that this is still a woman and you are still a man and you still have to be unshakable. You want to have a fucking soulmate, you want to have a best friend, buy a fucking dog or go hang out with the boys, all right? Have a serious conversation there. Don't ever start thinking that just because you got a girlfriend now that now you got to talk about global politics or, you know, the shit that we talk about in the chat, or, you know, what to do when we win, or JQ answers, or any of this shit. It's not for them. They don't really care about that. Don't waste their time or your time, because one, even if they understand it, they're not going to fucking, they don't want to hear about that shit. You know, half the time we don't want to hear about that shit. But it's, you know, it's on your mind, so that's what we're talking about. But that's what the boys are for. So, you know, keep that thing where it's supposed to be. But with that, you know, lucky for me, I get to go to the fucking airport now, get my ass looked in by Shaniqua. Hooray, Shaniqua. But as for you, you know where you can find this trashy content if you're into it. And remember to share it with somebody else, because the world needs more people like us. And until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon and keep your neck out of the noose. I have been Coffee. These are my takes.